field.
I don't know. We'll
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like.
This is caught inside the 15. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. Brady and Edelman hook up for a big one. 54 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Now Brady. Well, he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up first and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Extra point good by Gostkowski, and that will extend this big lead. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. He'll hit Jackson, complete. Well, they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? Right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn.
To throw is Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Patriots.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
Touchdown, Patriots. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Gostkowski the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. is the National Football League on EA Sports. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right. All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So we're again symptomatic.
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket, completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Wentz. His throw incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. On third and long, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's got a man complete. It's Julian Edelman. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles' offense back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now on 2nd and 13, Wentz. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jason McCourty, a safety blitz and a sack. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Edelman set to return. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here.
That's caught inside the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well at hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93%.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Patriots. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
So now Brady and the Patriots going for 2. They'll try and run it here. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Wentz now on 1st down. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Now Wentz. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. One final try now for Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis.